Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Hunter Tuned. Today, I'm going to show you guys my, I think it's a 2022 Honda Navi. So you guys know I love the Groms and the mini motos and stuff like that Honda has come out with. They're a ton of fun. If you don't got one, you guys should definitely go pick one up. They're just a blast. But anyways, I picked up one of these Navis. I was really debating on even buying one of these bikes just because it's pretty much a glorified scooter, but you need a motorcycle license to ride it. It looks like a Grom, but it's like the farthest thing from an actual Grom. Considering they're like 1,800 bucks brand new, I just bought this one from Ken Sports here in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. And yeah, I like the red. It, like I said, it looks like a Grom or something like that, but it actually, the engine is all this. There's no engine up here, this is all storage. So yeah, I got about 230 something miles on it, 238 at the time of filming this video. I just filled it up with some 93 premium. Believe it or not, this bike actually gets terrible gas mileage, especially compared to a Grom. A stock Grom, you can get over 100 miles on a tank pretty easily. I'm lucky if I get 55 miles to a tank on this bike right here. Which is surprising considering it's a smaller displacement, but it's carbureted, drum brakes, bare bones on this thing. But it is still cool and it's still a ton of fun. Top speed with me on this thing, I've tried everything. Like downhill, 20-mile-an-hour tailwind, tucked like Superman. The best I've ever gotten out of this thing is around 52 miles an hour, 53 maybe. And that wasn't like verified, it was just what the speedo said. I'm assuming it's fairly accurate. 52 to 53 miles an hour is about all I can get out of it. If this bike did 60 all in, I think it'd be safer for guys to, you know, get into this. But anyways, enough soapboxing. I want to show you guys what this thing makes on the dyno, and we're going to actually put an upgraded exhaust on it from Vance and Hines. So I bought this from the Ruck Shop, Vance and Hines Performance Exhaust System. It's for the Navi, and it sits a lot better than the factory exhaust, in my opinion. The factory exhaust is pretty low, and this exhaust should bring it up a little bit. I think it'll look a lot better, especially with the red. But we're gonna get this thing put onto the dyno, and we're gonna see what it makes completely stock, and then we're gonna put the exhaust on it and see if it picks up any power. I also have a camshaft on the way that we're gonna do some dyno testing with in an upcoming video. So be sure to subscribe and like this video if you guys like the bike content. All right, so we got the Navi loaded up onto the motorcycle dyno. I got everything ready to go. Let's see what this thing puts down completely stock. Hold my beer. What a spicy unit. A lot of variation with temperature and heat and everything like that. But CVT transmission, starting from 0, running it all the way up to the rev limiter, which on this thing, I actually was able to top it out and hit the rev limiter at 57.2, 57 and a half miles an hour. So it definitely has more in it, but I can't get it to go that fast on the street. The best run was 7.1 horsepower. Average power was like 6.9. I did 4 runs, trying to just really heat it up and find the happy temperature and stuff like that. I think they claim like 7.8 or 7.9 horsepower out of this engine. So we're losing about a horsepower through the drivetrain. And CVTs actually can multiply torque just like an automatic transmission can, so it's not surprising to me that there isn't that much drivetrain loss on this because of the CVT. I know other people have dynoed these and they only make like 5.5 or 6, but on my dyno, we're reading about 6.97 horsepower average. Now let's put the exhaust on, now that we have a baseline, and see if it picks up any power with the exhaust. Alright guys, I got the Vance and Hines performance exhaust on. It's actually kind of loud. Let's see what it makes for power. Alright guys, so the results are in. What did the exhaust do to the Navi? I'm going to take an average run. It actually lost power everywhere. It did gain slightly up top. I'm going to take the averages from all of these. I'm not counting this run right here that says 7 horsepower because I wasn't sitting on the bike. And believe it or not, when you're on the motorcycle dyno, if you're like sitting on the bike versus standing, you know, like not having your weight on it, it'll make a difference with horsepower. So I'm going to take an average. So 3 runs with the Vance and Hines exhaust, we have 6.62, 6.54, 6.62, and that's it. And with the stock exhaust, we had 6.83, 6.96, 7.1, and 7.0. So every single run with the Vance and Hines was down on power. Obviously this is a completely stock bike and it probably needs to be jetted. I'm assuming that it's probably lean, but it definitely lost power everywhere. So if you're trying to go faster, don't put an exhaust on without doing a jet kit and probably some other stuff first. I just wanted to put the exhaust on because it looks nice, and I have some other power mods coming that I think the exhaust will work good with. But on a completely stock bike, it's probably going to go slower with the Vance and Hines exhaust on it. I just wanted to add in here that I did the math on all the runs, and average power on my dyno with the stock exhaust was 6.93, and with the Vance and Hines exhaust, same within a half hour of each other, same weather, same everything, same amount of runs, 6.59 horsepower with the Vance and Hines exhaust. So it lost a half a horsepower with the exhaust, and I got a good average run of with exhaust and without, and you can see that it pretty much lost power everywhere. Especially right around 35 mile an hour, it dropped quite a bit of power. I want to say that that's a pretty big jump. 6 to, yeah, half a horsepower here in the mid range. half a horsepower pretty much all the way up, so it's going to be slower pretty much everywhere. Yeah, it didn't pick up any power. So we got to get a wideband on this thing and see how lean or rich it is. If you guys are interested in seeing that stuff, be sure to subscribe and like the video. If you want me to do some more work on this thing, maybe jet it, put an intake on it. I actually already have a cam on the way, so we'll see if we can wake this thing up and get it to go like 60 miles an hour. I think that'd be a good goal, because then it'll be a usable bike in my opinion. So keep your stock shit. If you have a stock bike, if you plan on doing clutching, jet kit, intake, all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna see what those mods will do in comparison. But just the exhaust, gotta do a combination of mods, I think, to make it work. So just a little tidbit of information for you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Have a great night and a better tomorrow, guys. God bless, and stay safe out there.